Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? And so now that week one is in the books, and so week one had its share of very entertaining games. There were some games that teams just flat out steamrolled their opponents. I mean, Buffalo, Kansas City came out with tremendous fire. Those games, there were some teams that won some key division matchups that may pay off later in the year. You think about Pittsburgh over Cincinnati. That was one of those games. Minnesota over the Packers, teams like that, the Chargers over the Raiders. And then there were some teams that just flat out got embarrassed. Broncos, I'm looking at you, that lost to Seattle. I mean, who saw that coming? Geno Smith played good. I mean, week one had its share of surprises, and it also was a week in which, hey, if you were trying to get revenge, whether you're Russell Wilson, whether you're Baker Mayfield, it just simply did not happen. But with that being said, it was just week one, so we don't want to overreact. We do want to just relax and let's just see how things go forward. But here goes my picks for week two. And again, I'm not just going to select the team that is the best and most likely to win. Obviously, we all know who the better teams, are on paper. But as we know in the NFL, there are always going to be upsets. And so I'll do my best to also project where I think those upsets could or would happen as well. Well, let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so first up, Thursday, our Amazon Prime game. And so the Chargers on the road here at the Chiefs. And so what the Chiefs did to the Chargers was downright, I'm sorry, what the Chiefs did to the Cardinals was downright brutal. I mean, Patrick Mahomes came out airing that thing out there. I know J.C. Jackson's dealing with his injury and stuff like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and say that in this game right here, I like the Chiefs to win this one. I'm going to say final score being, I'm going to go Chiefs 34, Chargers 28. So 34 to 28. I've got the Chiefs over the Chargers. And then second up on this list, the Patriots on the road at the Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers, they are the favorites there. And then going down, to their home stadium there, for their opener, that's going to opener at home. And so, I mean, Mitch and the bunch, they look pretty good, but Najee Harris is a little banged up. And so we'll see just how healthy he is out there, during that matchup there. And so you guys know I got to go with my Patriots here to win this one. And I'm going to go Patriots win with the final score being, I'm going to go ahead and say Patriots win 20-17 and they run the ball. I mean, run the ball. And so 2017 with the upset over the Steelers. All right, now the Colts going out to the Jaguars here. And so Indianapolis did tie with Houston last week. And so, but Jacksonville is giving Indianapolis problems that they have. And so I'm tempted to choose the Jaguars to beat Indianapolis here. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I don't know. It's so tempting to go with Jacksonville here, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Indianapolis. I'm going to go Indianapolis wins 24-17 over the Jaguars. All right, so next up is the Jets on the road at the Cleveland Browns. And so I like what I saw from Kareem Hunt. I think this time around, it'll be Nick Chubb's turn to go out there and ball out here for the Browns. They're going to be at home as well. They just got that new logo in the middle of their field there. And then the Jets, I mean, believe it's still going to be Joe Flacco. And so I'm not in love with that for the Jets. So I'm going to go Browns to win this matchup. All right, next up is the Dolphins versus the Ravens. And so this will be a very good matchup there. And so I remember the last time the Ravens played the Dolphins defense gave Lamar Jackson fits. And so I feel like the Ravens will end up scoring about maybe 24 points. And I think Miami's going to end up scoring about 23. So I think the Ravens win this one by 1 point over the Miami Dolphins. All right, so the Houston Texans on the road at the Denver Broncos here. And so the Broncos at home, you just lost to Seattle here, but hey, you're going to be at home now. And so, what's done in the past is done in the past. Don't want to overreact. And so the Broncos being at home against the Texans, in which I think the Texans are going to put up a fight. They're going to put up a fight. This is going to be a team that's going to be a scrappy team throughout the entire course of the season. But I got the Broncos winning this one 20-16 over the Texans. All right, next up, which is going to be the Monday night matchup there, the first one, I should say, the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry versus the Buffalo Bills. I think Buffalo wins this one, final score being Buffalo 34. I'm going to go Titans along the line of like 19, 34-19 Bills over the Titans. All right, so the Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders here. And so two teams looking to bounce back from what transpired in week one. And so in this matchup, though, I mean, you look at the weapons that the Raiders had. They lost to the Chargers, but by 5 points. It was a pretty close matchup here. I feel like the Raiders will win this matchup here against the Cardinals. And I'm going to go final score of Raiders 26, Cardinals. I'm going to go I'm gonna give them 20 points, 26-20. Raiders over the chart of over the Cardinals. All right, so the Bengals versus the Cowboys here. So obviously, we all know Dak Prescott, he's injured, so that's going to hurt CeeDee Lamb. It's going to hurt this offense and stuff like that. In Cincinnati, they played good enough to beat the Steelers, but Joe Burrow made far too many turnovers. Their kicking game had too many mishaps. All of that being said, I'm going to say that the Bengals win this matchup. Final score being Cincinnati 33, Cowboys 10. 33-10, Bengals over the Cowboys. All right, and so next up, the Buccaneers versus the Saints. I mean, the Saints have just given the Buccaneers fits over the years, and right now, I know they beat the Cowboys, but still, I feel like something was missing. And I do like what I've seen from the Saints in terms of obviously they battled against Atlanta. But if you look over the years, I mean, with the exception of maybe one or two games over the last 3 years, it has always been close between the Saints and the Falcons. So I won't read too much into that. But I feel like this game is going to still be very close between these two teams. So I'm going to go ahead and say that the Saints find a way to win. Final score being, I'm going to go Saints 20. Let's go 24, Buccaneers 21. So 24-21, Saints over the Buccaneers. All right, next up, you've got the Carolina Panthers on the road here against the Giants. And so Christian McCaffrey versus Saquon Barkley. I mean, in that matchup, I mean, the Giants had a nice victory over the Titans there, but Carolina looked pretty impressive as well. And so with Christian McCaffrey there, I have more faith in him in this matchup there. So I'm going to go ahead and say Carolina finds a way to win this game 23-20 over the Giants. Would not be surprised if the Giants win this one though, but I'm going to go Carolina with this matchup. All right, next up, you've got Washington versus Detroit. Washington last week beating the Jaguars, but Detroit, they got off to a slow start against the Eagles, but they started picking it up. And so it's going to be at Detroit as well. And so I'm thinking that Detroit finds a way to win this matchup 28-21. 28-21, the Lions over Washington. With Carson Wentz as your quarterback, I feel like it's flipping a coin whether or not you win it or not. And hey, Washington looked pretty good. What Curtis Samuel did, Antonio Gibson, those guys, Johan Dotson getting 2 receiving touchdowns. If they can play like that consistently, then I really like their forecast for this season. But I could see this being a game also where Detroit can come out and win, especially if they can pick up where they left off at against the Eagles, who I think is a pretty good football team. All right, next up, the Falcons on the road at the Rams here. And so I feel like this is a chance for the Rams to rebound. Obviously, they got embarrassed opening week. There's no other way to put it. They got embarrassed in the opening week. But this is an opportunity to go ahead and right the ship here. Don't want to overreact to week one. And so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is the game that the Rams can win this one. And I'm going to go Rams win final score of, let's go 29-20. 29-20 over the Falcons. All right, next up, you've got the Seahawks versus the 49ers. And so, I mean, man, you look at all the criticism that's coming towards Trey Lance's way. I mean, it's been pretty brutal, considering, your first game down there in Chicago, tough place to play, tough circumstances. But I'm going to need to see more from him, but especially guys like Deebo Samuel, in which I feel like they are going to be key. Now, I like this impressive win that the Seahawks had week one. I do like that. However, against the 49ers here, down in San Francisco, I'm going to go ahead and say the 49ers win this one, final score being 20-17. 20-17. And so I think Deebo Samuel will get into the end zone once. And so we'll see how this works out. I know that Elijah Mitchell he's injured and stuff like that, but Trey Lance, they're going to need to see more improvement from him than what they saw week one. But I'm going to go ahead and say at home is a good chance for the 49ers to get their first win of the season. All right, speaking of the Bears on the road at the Packers here. And so obviously Aaron Rodgers with those young weapons, hey, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he hit Christian Watson one time with that deep pass, and like Christian Watson dropped it. That was all on Watson there. That being said, though, they did lose to the Vikings there. I do like the Vikings forecast on the year. As for the Green Bay Packers here, this one is going to be close. I know Aaron Rodgers says that he owns the Bears. I know he said that, but I really feel like this is going to be a very, very close game right here. Honestly, I feel like because of the fact that they do have Aaron Jones and they do have AJ Dillon, that combination right there, I feel like, and the improvements that they made on the defensive side of the ball, I feel like this is going to be a very, very close game. But I'm going to say Packers win because they're at home here. The Packers win 24-21 over the Bears. All right, and then the final one, the Vikings versus the Eagles, the game that I will be doing the play-by-play for on that Monday night game. And so Minnesota on the road at the Eagles. So I've been saying all year long, Philadelphia, I love the trade they did for AJ Brown. It's really paying off, and Jalen Hurts is really targeting him. He's still utilizing his legs. All of that great stuff, Miles Sanders, from week one, looked pretty good in that matchup there. And I love what they did in the offseason. I love what they did in the draft. But I say this to say that what I saw from Justin Jefferson and that offense with the Vikings, how they looked against the Packers here, I feel like they have an opportunity here to steal one down in Philadelphia. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still super high on Philadelphia. This is, again, no knock on any of these teams that I did not select. I'm still very high on Philly, and I think that they're definitely a playoff team this season. That being said, I got the Vikings here with an upset over the Eagles. Final score being Minnesota 27, Eagles 20. And so that is JB's predictions for this week here. And so obviously I get it. There's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with most of these picks. And I understand that. Again, the NFL is unpredictable. So you just can't go wrong. These are all for fun, all that great stuff. I do acknowledge the Chargers stand a very good chance to win. The Steelers, they are the favorites there. I can see a path where Jacksonville could win. Things like that. Miami, I could see them possibly beating Baltimore as well. Houston, don't sleep on Houston in that game. I've given it a lot of thought. Don't sleep on them. Cardinals, they could do it. Buccaneers very well could as well. Giants, I feel like they have a good chance as well. Washington, I can even see Seattle and Chicago and the Eagles all having a path to victory. But hey, that's the NFL, right? This is why we love this league. But these are my predictions. So let's see how I do. But feel free to comment in the comment section and let me know which games you agree with, which games you disagree with, or just let me know who you have winning here. What are some upsets you project for this week, and what are some, games that you feel confident about? Let me know all of that stuff. But one thing's for sure, as long as we got football games, everybody is going to be a winner here, at least until the end of the score if your team loses. But that being said, guys, hey, let's just enjoy the NFL season. With that being said, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.